So, good afternoon, everyone. Let's begin our panel for today. Padmaja ma'am, are you with us? Padmaja ma'am, are you with us, ma'am? We also have another panelist joining in, Arunima ma'am. She'll be joining us soon. She's having a technical issue. So until then, we can start the session. So good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's South India Business Week, Day 8 for Mental Wellness panel. Today in the panel, we have Padmaja Penmetsa ma'am. Ma'am is a Joypreneur mindset coach. She's a clinical hypnotherapist and also the founder of Align Hub. We also have Pradhika Bhartia ma'am. Ma'am is a handwriting analyst, numerologist, past life regression therapist, and also color and drawing analysis services she provides. And we also have another member, Arunima Maity ma'am. She is a software engineer, video creator, and healer. Arunima ma'am will be joining us soon. So until then, let's begin our discussion about empowering mental wellness, holistic approaches for personal growth and fulfillment in our lives. So about this topic, I want to ask my first question to Padmaja ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us, ma'am, today. And my first question for today would be, as a clinical therapist, a clinical hypnotherapist, how do you incorporate hypnotherapy into your coaching practices, ma'am?
Okay. So when we talk about mental wellness, I think, that is still very underrated and still not, and maybe now it's still opening up. But what happens is, in my experience, what I've seen is, none of us want to feel lazy. None of us want to feel, underworked or anything. We all want to achieve high things.
Yes.
But how much ever you want to do a lot of things, as simple as if you want to go to the gym, if you want to work on yourself and everything, we make plans, we have goals, we set up everything, but then getting out there and doing, usually there is some sort of lethargy, there is some block that we usually face.
Yeah.
And that happens in every walk of life.
Yes.
In so many things. So the reason how I started off into hypnotherapy and everything, majorly what I see is, without our conscious understanding, without our conscious knowledge, there are some inherent blocks that we all have.
Mm-hmm.
And if we know where the problem is, we will definitely go and work there.
Yeah.
And many a time, even if we know that there is a problem, because most of us know that typically that, the major problem that I see is people feel that they're lazy. But even to feel lazy, there is a certain reason. Something within them which is actually stopping them from getting up and doing that action, though we all know what needs to be done, how it needs to be done, the process we are very good at, filling those diaries that we start from January 1st and everything.
Yeah.
But there is something which stops us.
Mm-hmm.
And we will not be able to kind of locate and point our finger there saying that, this is my problem.
True.
That is where I have experienced that, hypnotherapy comes into the forefront.
Mm-hmm.
Because all these blocks are there in a subconscious mind.
Yeah.
See, scientifically, we all know that maybe, we use only 10 to 20% of our brain potential is what usually people say. But the inherent things which are there within us are completely recorded, and they're completely there as patterns in the subconscious. And how does this get recorded in the subconscious?
Mm-hmm.
We are all nothing but products of our own past experiences now.
That is true.
Yeah. While growing up, suppose, you were bitten by a dog.
Mm-hmm.
There is that inherent fear about a dog.
Yes.
You did something, maybe you were praised. So you will definitely want to do more of it.
Yeah.
You did something, maybe you were where you were shunned.
Mm.
Maybe as a child, maybe when you were going through that as a trauma or whatever it is, you might not consciously think about it, but there are impressions being made at every moment on our brains, in our minds. And most of these things, if you observe, something that you feel very deeply are the ones which get, into the memory chain.
Yeah.
Unless you feel deeply about something, you'll not remember it.
Mm-hmm.
So either positive or negative when you feel very deeply. Now, when I say when you're feeling very deeply, it's just not the work of your brain and your mind. There is your full body which reacts to it. There is a full, in fact, maybe we could also say that it's more of a heart work, because feeling is more here and thought is more here. But scientifically, if you think also, heart is just pumping blood. So where is the feeling coming? And brain is also, if I just tear open everybody's brain, it's the same. So what I would say is, physiologically, we're all very similar. We all have two hands, two legs, a single brain, a single nose, eyes, everything. So physiologically, we're all similar. But psychologically, we're all very different. And this is where the major difference happens. Something that you cannot see. Can you, if I ask you, where is your mind? Can you point to your mind? If I ask you, where do you feel? You can't point it. So something which you cannot see is something which directs all the physicality of us. Fear, where can you point to, to a fear? Where are you upset? But once you feel that, it starts manifesting in your body. You'll start sweating, you'll have different other, things. So the reason why I'm telling you all these things is because to establish the fact that it's a subconscious mind which directs us. Consciously, we might feel that, I will do so many things, I know how to do and everything. But what is recorded in your subconscious mind? How are you dealing with that? And that's exactly where hypnotherapy comes into the forefront. Now, again, I would like to break the myth where when you speak about hypnotherapy, people ask me, Padmaja, do you sit with a pendulum? Or, do you sit with the wheels which take you back into your past? No, nothing like that happens. All these things are like, as much as love is glorified in the movies, because when you see somebody, there are no butterflies, there are no clouds which rumble and all those things. They're all just dramatized. So in the same way, even these things are very dramatized. They show you different sorts of things which absolutely they don't happen. Your subconscious mind definitely gets active when your conscious mind goes down a little. So that's where you enter into a different zone.
Okay.
So on a day-to-day basis, for you to let go of your subconscious mind and access your let go of your conscious mind and access your subconscious, there are certain processes that we do. Where we will take you into that hypnosis. Now, hypnosis is not which is out of your control. You will very much be aware, you are awake, you know what you're speaking, you will be able to comprehend what you're talking and everything. And a lot of them ask me, Padmaja, am I making up these stories? Am I imagining, or am I actually talking from my subconscious? See, even if you think that you're imagining, it is still coming from your own mind, right? Even if you're making up a story, you're bringing in your own mind.
Yeah.
So unless your mind can comprehend something, it will not come out. So first of all, yes, it's very safe and it is scientific to actually access your subconscious. Now, in coaching, how does hypnotherapy work? Many times, see, I usually work a lot with senior executives and everybody. What happens is they've seen so much of their career and everything, and they come to a point where there is some sort of glass ceiling within, not maybe in the organization also, but somewhere they feel redundant. Somewhere they feel, you know what, maybe I could do something more. I know my potential is more, but I'm not able to do it. So where you're not able to kind of pinpoint and say that this is my problem. When you take about relationships, see, everybody wants to give their best even in relationships.
Yes.
But how much ever you try, there are certain things which keep going wrong.
Yeah.
There are certain things which are not going as how you might like. How much ever you feel that you're putting your level best to understand, maybe there are those parts in your partner where you're not able to understand. So there are so many things where you will not be able to pinpoint and say that what, this is my problem.
Yeah.
And how much ever we try, I know I'm putting all my efforts, but maybe I'm not losing my weight. I know I'm doing everything right, but maybe I'm not losing weight. See, even as simple as weight loss, it doesn't come across easily because maybe you're holding on to something emotionally. Unless you release those, your body doesn't release it.
Yeah.
And unless, and when I talk about relationships, maybe, there have been some past experiences. Maybe you've seen your parents, your elders, maybe you've seen it in movies. Somewhere you've seen and your mind is picked up.
Mm.
See, at the end of the day, the core function of our mind and body is to keep us safe and is to nurture us.
Yes.
So, to keep us safe, to feel safe, it will start acting its own tricks.
Mm.
So, hypnotherapy is about understanding these. It is about understanding where you yourself are becoming a block to your own growth, to your, moving forward in life.
Yeah.
So, when we do these sessions, the deep rooted belief patterns come onto the forefront. A lot many times people will be surprised ki, Arey, I didn't know that this was what was holding me back.
Because it was in our subconscious.
It is completely within you. You do not know. You do not know that this is the problem.
Yeah.
Simple example I will give you. I had a client. This is a very typical problem which a lot of us have. So I'm going to take very generic examples so that everybody understands.
Mm. Yeah.
Now she had an issue where the mother-in-law was very imposing on her.
Mm.
She knows that mother-in-law is very nice and everything, but she's not able to kind of handle it. So she came. Through the sessions, what she understood was she has never been appreciating her own mother till now.
Okay.
So she always felt, I know my mom does so many things to me, but that's her duty, right?
Is-
So though she feels thankful, though she feels gratitude, she's never expressed.
Mhm.
She has that block, but okay, fine, she's doing it.
Mm.
That's the same pattern which she's seeing in the mother-in-law.
Mm.
That's your duty as a daughter-in-law.
Yeah.
So somewhere where you are expecting appreciation,
You have to give
you have
appreciation.
not given that.
Yeah.
So when she understood this, she started giving it to her mother, and she started understanding the perspective of the mother,
Mm. Yeah.
and the entire situation changed.
Mhm.
So it could be as simple as that, but we do not know where we are holding ourselves back.
That is so true, ma'am. Yeah. That was a very deep there. Thank you so much for that. Now let's just move on to next question for Pradhika, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you.
So, ma'am, how do handwriting analysis and numerology and other practices combine to understanding and addressing these mental health challenges and mental wellness challenges?
So that's a really nice question, which a lot of people need to understand. So basically, as a lot of things was taken care of by Padmaja ma'am, so we need to access basically subconscious minds. Okay, and as a human being, we are always seeking for some kind of validations, affirmations, something positive, whenever we are feeling lost. And out of fear, we can't share it with our close ones because they have this inner fear that they will judge us, what they'll think about me. Superficially they are seeing me happy, successful person, but internally if I can show them my weakness, or if they come across my weakness or my loophole or something that I'm feeling weak emotionally, what they'll think about me. Am I mad? Am I crazy? Or I can't handle such a small thing. So these things keep accumulating in our subconscious mind. Okay. And then it's our growth gets delayed. We are unable, we lose focus on our work front because everything is interrelated. We always say that keep your personal and professional life separate. But even if you have a small argument with your mom at home in the morning, you won't feel like to work. You won't feel like to work throughout the day. You'll feel disturbed, although it was a small argument. And a small appreciation in the morning, and there is a sudden growth, sudden dopamine high levels. Okay. So everything is interconnected. You cannot keep anything separate, or
Yes.
howsoever you try. And if you get scolding at your workplace, you are into a job or something, you get
Mm.
scolding at your workplace from your senior. So you are bound to get frustrated back at home in the evening.
Yes.
And that frustration we normally take out on our moms or on our kids.
Yeah.
We don't have any other to scold.
Yes.
Right. So, see, then there comes a point when you start feeling lost because the emotions get clustered, they get entangled so badly that you feel lost. What exactly are you looking for? So, there comes the role of handwriting analysis or numerology, depending on what you are exactly facing and what you want to listen. Sometimes you need to listen what you want to hear, but you are not able to accept it. So just by looking at the handwriting and having conversation with you, we are not just listening to your what you are saying, but rather your handwriting is speaking what you are not trying to speak or what you are not ready to accept.
How do you understand that, ma'am?
So your handwriting is getting formed through your mind. Your mind, every letter and every handwriting is different.
Yes.
Each and every alphabet in handwriting analysis can be written in more than 700 different forms.
Okay.
And letters I, F, and T can be written in more than 10,000 different forms.
Okay.
A human man can write.
Mm-hmm.
So people say that doctors की handwriting समझ में नहीं आती. They
Yeah.
have the worst handwriting. But no, it's just that they know how to control their mind, how to control emotions. So they are not very reflective, but they have the patterns. Otherwise, how others are understanding, how the chemist or the pharmacist is understanding their handwriting. They have definitely written it, right? So every handwriting speaks about your underlying emotions, deep emotions which you are not ready to speak. Your numbers speak. People say it's a pseudoscience, but no, each and everything is a science. Everyone is practicing. Doctors are also practicing, numerologists are also practicing, and financial experts are also practicing. Not every doctor's medicine suits you the same way. Some medicines doesn't is not meant for you. You have to go for other modalities, right? So that way we help to access subconscious mind, and then when the deep subconscious emotions is discovered, we help them through handwriting therapy or numerology therapy or whatever other like I do past life regression therapy or color therapy, whatever is needed for the timing, because the person when he is coming, he is already in a deep pain. He is not coming joyfully, but his pain is undescribable because he is unable to express, he doesn't know what he is going through. He is even confused, that's why he is coming to us. So then we help us. First, we have to access his subconscious thoughts, what he is going through, and what exactly he is feeling consciously about those thoughts. So after correlating all those things and helping through other modalities, we help him bring to it conscious level so that he is able to accept it and then make his way out through those dark forests.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for sharing those tips with us. And now I have a question for Padmaja, ma'am. Ma'am, could you share as an example of a client case where hypnotherapy played a significant role in overcoming mental wellness challenges?
In fact, I just shared one, speaking a little earlier.
Yes, ma'am.
So when it comes to the professional aspect also, what I've seen in most cases is, the experience that they have when they are working. They might have 100 notions that when I become the boss or when I take over the leadership role, I will be, in a certain way or anything as such. But what happens is their experiences, as I said, they're already deep rooted in the subconscious. And as much as we might like to talk about work life balance, saying that you have to balance out your personal and professional life and everything, see what the core reason, or the core underlying factor for everybody is, how you do one thing is how you do everything. So your personal fears sometimes they start manifesting in your professional life also. And your professional, whatever that you're going through, they also start manifesting in your personal life, as much as you want to keep them separate. And that is because at the end of the day, they all address only the core emotions as fear. As I said, the core function of the body and mind is to keep you safe and to nurture you. So it's either pain or pleasure. You're either avoiding pain or you're looking for pleasure. So these are the only core reasons how we typically function. So a couple of cases that I have seen is, they might tell us that, you know what, Padmaja ma'am, in personal life, I'm able to do all these things, but in professional, somewhere here, I'm getting stuck. At home, I can hear things, I can handle the situation and everything, but here I lose temper. And I've seen this similar thing vice versa also. At home, I'm losing temper, but here I am holding in. So most of the cases, what I see is, it is all in a flux, because at the end of the day, it's only your mind which is working. So as an example, if I have to give you specifically, as I said, that mother-in-law, in fact, she was a professional as well. She has her own business and everything. And that was, okay, the same lady had another issue where her partner, she felt very controlled by her partner. She felt that as much as I'm working alongside my partner, I feel their moods are something which are coming onto the table, which I don't want to take, but I'm forced to act according to their mood and everything, which is spoiling her day. So that was another context. And when we had a deep dive and when we saw, this girl felt too protective about her brother. Though the brother is his own individual and can do his own things and everything, she has been controlling the brother, where she will not accept, she will not say it, but the brother feels it. Since the brother understands and they have a very good rapport, the brother smiles at it and just lets it be. So through the session, she understood that, oh, you know what? I'm actually doing the same thing with my brother. I'm being overprotective. Then she understood that her partner is being overprotective about her, the other lady, because there's a good age gap between them. So the partner feels that this girl should be directed. This girl should be led. This girl needs that protection. And that was such a breakthrough for her, because in a regular day, you might not even connect these dots.
Yes. You won't even think about that.
Think about this. It's only through hypnotherapy, it is only through these sessions where we understood that, this is where she is, kind of attracting similar people.
Yeah.
More than saying similar people, I would say attracting similar situations. The mind will start. See, at the end of the day, we are creating our life. Yeah. Not many times, this is a big question that I keep getting. Is destiny really there, or are we creating it?
We are making it. Our decisions, our choices lead to it, right?
It's a choice. Even if people talk about past life or anything also, if you believe in past life, there is a karma philosophy. Yeah. So something which you've done already is something which is giving you destiny now. Which can still be altered, which can still be changed, because this moment is there for you to make a decision again. So without our own conscious control, without our own conscious understanding, we are creating similar situations because your mind already knows it. Yeah. Your feelings know it. You want to feel that. So you will create. So very generally, if I have to tell you, somebody who has been going through a lot of problems in their life, maybe so used to solving those problems, they feel very accomplished when they solve those problems. They feel they're worth it after they've solved those problems. Such a person, even if you give them a regular day and a happy life, they will not be able to understand how to behave. They'll not know how to function because there's no problem at hand.
Yeah.
So what happens is, very subconsciously, they will start creating situations where it might look like a problem, and they want to solve it. And this is only because we are so hung upon holding on to things that we know. And the most common problem that we all have is the fear of the unknown. So when you don't know it, you will avoid it. This is also the same. When you do not know how to feel happy, you will avoid it. You'll create situations to get those problems onto the surface. And then you feel, you know what, I'm solving this, I feel accomplished. So this is how we are playing out our own dramas.
Yeah, ma'am, that is true. I kind of related there. Thank you for that, ma'am. Now we have Arunima ma'am on board with us. So welcome, Arunima ma'am. I have a question. Is Arunima ma'am here?
Yes, can you hear me? Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, you're clear now.
Okay.
So I have a question for you, ma'am.
Yes.
As a software engineer and video creator with a focus on mental wellness, how do you incorporate technology and creative mediums in your approach?
Yes. So firstly, thanks to everyone for giving me this platform to speak on mental health. See, mental health and physical health. Okay, this is very important, where we need to understand actually what it is about. Like, if we want to do our day-to-day work, okay, we need to be fit physically, right? So we can't say that if you are sick, you come to office. So this question itself says that if you are not mentally healthy, how you will do your day-to-day activities? The thing we encounter such question, being physical health, it is visible. If you are not well, it is visible. If you get a fracture on your hand, it is visible. But if something is going inside your head, if you are undergoing stress, we are very good in covering that up and presenting ourselves that we are okay outside. And that's the main issue, where we put on that mask and we want to show ourselves perfect, and we try to do the things that we are supposed to do. So this is the main thing that we should understand, that when we are working, be it in corporate life or even if we are at home and doing our household stuff, both is important. We have to be mentally healthy and we have to be physically healthy. Both are important. So as for physical health, we need to take care of our diet. We have to have a good lifestyle, exercise. Similarly, for mental health, we need that mental diet. It means being positive. So everybody tells about how to be positive. Okay, so we tell be positive, but the thing is that how to be positive? Positive means you have to take positive intake. So that is only possible when your environment is positive. Now, being in this practical world, it is very difficult. If you expect that everywhere it will be a positive situation, be it at our own home, we are not happy with each and every family members, right? But we are staying. So getting a positive environment is not the actual thing, but being positive from inside. Okay, that's where the catch is. So I would tell that like inner work is important. Your inner engineering is very important, where we can relate this, that how I can bring this mental health and how we can correlate with being, actually now I'm a project manager, so how I can interrelate this too. And in this digital platform, where we actually hardly we meet people nowadays, still this structure is breaking. We are doing online and we are coming to office. So when we are meeting face to face, we catch vibes of other people, right? But after COVID, post COVID situations, we were mainly working online. We were doing distance work, virtual work. So virtually also we can help people, okay, through our guidance. And there, you may be knowing, right, there are n number of softwares, like mental health softwares, where you can use it on a day-to-day day-to-day basis, where there are meditation links, where there are chatbots which will help you and guide you like a mentor. So in this way, you can bring the software to help you and cope up with the day-to-day mental stress. Now, having saying that, it is very important to understand that mental health is, not a very, easy thing to understand and also to make it perfect, because sometimes we undergo stress but we do not know it. Okay, we have anxiety issues but we do not know it. So at the first step is knowing yourself, like, what your, mental condition is and what is the root cause of it, and then only you can actually work on it to rectify. When I get a physical hurt, I know this is the area of my hurt, I need to apply the balm or go to a doctor to just get it medicated and rectified. But when I'm having some mental issues, even I'm not aware of that. Okay, I may be behaving in a way that other people are seeing me indifferent, or maybe other people are telling me I am not, coping up with the situation, but I may not be aware that why I am behaving in that manner. So for that, you need a coach. For that, it may be a physical coach, a physical mentor, or it may be a software, an application which can guide you on a day-to-day basis. Because in today's world, when we are all, so much isolated, and but still we are connected, right? We do not have the correct person whom we can go and talk, trust, and a person who can listen to us. So that is the main reason in this era of social media, that we make, quick friends over the internet, but we are not, close to our own people with whom we are staying. So that's very important, because somewhere there is a trust issue, somewhere there is a question inside us, if I tell my problem, whether this person will be judgmental about me. So we have all these things in mind. But when I'm talking to a person who doesn't knows me at all, I am very, ease, and I'm at my comfort level telling that person, sharing with them. But that is also in one way very, it's not, like, I would say it's a bit dangerous, because I don't know how that who that person is. So it's always, recommended that we go to a, mentor or a coach, or maybe we can take help of these platforms where we have meditation therapy. Okay, so that we have a proper guidance, and we are not just going anywhere and, trying to get solution from whoever we are encountering. So that's very important. So yes, so digital platform is, in today's world, we can use it. And but if we feel that in our day-to-day life we are stressed, we need some help, it's always good to reach out to a mentor. And if it is not possible, we can also, take online help. There are, I think, n number of people there to help us online as well as a distance healing. So saying that, even I am a, Reiki therapist, I do distance healing. So nowadays it's not at all a limitation to heal people if we are not on physical contact. So it can be done online. Now we all are meeting, right? We are also talking about mental health. So this is also, we are doing it virtually, but we are trying to help each other by understanding each other's perspective and trying to discuss on this and coming to a solution where we can, somehow help the people around us. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for that. Now moving on to Pradhika, ma'am. So, ma'am, could you also share us an example about how past life regression therapy helped your clients?
Yeah, so I would like to share this one case of mine, which was really an interesting one. So, around 8 or 9 years back, he was very well settled in his career, had a good house, family, everything was good. The concern for which he came to me was he was already divorced thrice, and none of his marriages lasted for more than 6 or 7 months. The divorce took mutually. Like, wife did not file any kind of complaint, and the concern only which she had was she was not feeling happy with the guy. But if she was asked for anything else, for any reason, whether you are getting abused by your husband, what is the reason of your unhappiness with your husband? There must be some reason, some emotional detachment you're feeling, or any mental abuse you are facing from your in-laws, from any aspect. So she would just have only one reason to say that I'm not feeling happy when I'm with him. But that was a really vague answer which he would get. So he came through some medium, through some word of mouth, he came to me, he reached out to me. So we decided to go for a past life regression therapy for him, so that we can find out he's generating this from his karma or maybe some deep subconscious emotion. So fine, we went for the session, and when we found the like the underlying deep emotion, it was astonishing that when we went to the time when he was in his mother's womb, his parents had a very brutal fight, and brutal fight. In that fight, even and I guess he was in his second month or third month. The lady was in her second or third month of pregnancy, and both the parents forgot that she is pregnant actually. And we all know that kids start to listen when they are in womb. They develop, they get all the emotions. That's why we are asked to go through spiritual healings, do meditation, do yoga, so that all the good energies and good thoughts go to pass on to the kid. But they both forgot, and in that fight, the father hit his mom on the stomach. Yeah, nothing happened, but it was no divorce also happened. The fight got exaggerated unnecessarily, and it was resolved within a few days even. But when he was in the womb, he developed that emotion he was feeling when he was in the trance state. When I was asking him that what are you feeling when you are feeling this deep conversation, deep fight going within your parents, and when you are getting heated, you're feeling that you are being hurt by your dad. So his words were that I'm feeling isolated, I'm feeling pain, and no one is there to save me, no one is there to protect me, and I'm already in darkness because womb is already dark. The only lightning is the mother's emotions which he can get connected to, and mother's emotions are dark, anger, resentment, everything is darkness. Fine. So coming back to the present situation, when we visited all his marriages, we visited when he's with his wife. So the subconsciously he was transmitting the emotion whenever he was alone in the bedroom, when that's a we time together, when he was asked when they're getting to know each other, they're spending proper time, the feeling, although he was completely with her, but he had that feeling that I'm alone, I am in pain, I am in dark, I'm feeling avoided. And that deep subconscious emotion which he wasn't aware of, and when he was feeling through all the marriages, because within 6 months the divorces were happening. See, we don't know what emotion we are passing on unintentionally, but the person who is receiving it does feel it. Sometimes you meet a new person, but you don't feel connected. You already start feeling negative about that person. It has happened to a lot of us, and many times we say to, sometimes our siblings friends come over and we say don't be friends with him, he's not a nice person, although he is not misbehaving, what wrong he has done till date, but we get that vibes, we get that feelings. So when that person, that husband was with his wife in the room, he was passing on that emotion of feeling pain, of being voided. So if you are continuously receiving that emotion, you will definitely not feel happy with that kind of person, but he is not expressing it because he also doesn't know that he has got that emotion in within him. He has been grown up with those emotions, so it's a part of him now. So slowly and gradually, we started working on those deep subconscious emotions. He started talking to his parents that this such thing happened because he wasn't aware of such facts. And his mother, after recalling, because it was already 35 years approximately, no one remembers such a brutal fight. Because if it's a once in a while event, so no one is least you are bound to forget about it. But then when they came across, okay, this is happening, so we started working towards it. It took around some time, like 1 month, 1.5 months. He started accepting those emotions. We reprogrammed him, and then slowly, gradually, now he's married for the fourth time. It's been approximately 5 years, and he has a 2 year or 3 year old kid, whose name, by the way, I gave him through the help of numerology, and they are happily married now with a baby boy.
That is a really interesting case there, ma'am. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Thank you.
Now I have another question for Padmaja, ma'am. So, ma'am, how do you approach this concept of joypreneurship in the mindset coaching? And how does that contribute to mental wellness and personal growth?
Thank you. And before I take that question, Loita, I would definitely want to thank Pradhika for sharing that experience. In fact, that stands an absolute example to what I shared, because when your mind and your emotion knows something, it will keep searching for it.
Yeah.
And it's so powerful. And this is the dichotomy of life, I think. It's all within us, and we don't know that it is within us. And we search everywhere. So thank you so much, Pradhika. That was a beautiful story, and I'm sure that must be so fulfilling for you also.
Definitely, it was. It has been one of the most profound cases. Although it's
Yes.
been 8 years or 9 years since that case happened, but I cannot let it go off.
Yeah.
It was one of the most profound cases for me.
So, Lohita, you see that smile that is there on Pradhika when she feels, and which is, which was like 7 or 8 years ago. Because every time when you give something to somebody, the joy that you get from within, that smile that you get. So I'm actually connecting that with whatever question that you asked me. Why joy? Do you think there's a difference between happiness and joy?
I do think, yeah.
Because if they were the same, why would we have two words? Happiness is always in response to an external stimuli. So today, if I have an iPhone 14 or an iPhone 15, that's my happiness. By September, he'll launch another thing, then I'll be looking at it.
Yes.
I'll be happy when I get that.
True.
But when you talk about joy, that is so much within you that you're not bothered about what is there, what is not there. Because if you understand that joyful state, which is typically the state of a child, typically the state of nature, of everything. So that is where I think I chose this word. And somebody who nurtures an enterprise, if they can be called as an entrepreneur, why not somebody who's working towards nurturing joy within people? Why not call a joypreneur? So that's how the word came up. And a lot of them asked me, this is not there in the dictionary, this is not there on Google from where. I was like, it's okay. I mean, I just felt it. So I put it up. And today I see the world actually catching up, the word actually catching up and everything. So when I say joypreneur, I have taken it up as a purpose of my life, maybe because through whatever that I've gone through, to whatever that I have understood and everything, that I want to help people to understand their core self as such. And that will always be joyful, Loita. Only thing is, we cover it with so many sheets, with so many layers of experiences, of understanding, of pain, of trauma, of so many things, expectations, disappointments and everything, that unless you peel off all these things, you will not be able to figure out who you truly are, and that you can actually be happy within yourself. So that is how I brought this entire work into whatever that I'm doing, and I wanted this to be understood in the regularity of life. Now, to understand this, you need not become an ascetic, you need not become a monk, you need not become somebody and just go off somewhere. Of course, you will be very happy in nature. Of course, you will love it when you go there for a holiday, because you are going in line with who you are. So when you're aligned with who you truly are, maybe that's why my company is also called Align. Unless you align, you give your car to a servicing, unless everything is aligned, it would not work properly. So as people, what you think, what you believe, what you say, and what you do, if you can bring an alignment in these things, you will actually, that's enough for you to truly live your life. A lot, many times what we see is people have so many thoughts, but they will not put it out into action. They're skeptical to even share. So for you to believe completely and for you to think on that belief, you need to first start dropping your own filters. You need to stop dropping your own expectations. You need to stop dropping your perspectives that you've designed. So unless all these things happen, a person will not be able to truly be happy, truly be joyful. So that is how I brought that. And in coaching, it is definitely working really big because, as I said, we do not know where the answer lies. When somebody is feeling so miserable in a certain context in life, through this work, we are able to connect to the root cause of where, how, and why this issue has begun, why that pattern has begun in them. And once you're able to address that, the first step is understanding, that is, becoming aware that, what, this condition is there, or this pattern is there within me. And the next step, which is the major step, is to accept it. Because many times what happens is we are all the excellent people in our own storybooks. We do not want to accept that, oh, okay, I might be thinking wrong. But once you accept, it's easier, because when you know where the dirt is, it's easier to clean. Otherwise, we'll be cleaning the entire ground, but we will not know where to actually scrub it. So this has given me a platform, this has given me a medium to directly bring people to the core issue, typically which begins when we were children. So I do a lot of inner child healing. I do a lot of past life regression, this hypnotherapy as such, where we direct it to the root cause. And once you clear that, everything else is a dominoes effect. Everything else falls in place. So if somebody is suffering in their career, if somebody is suffering in a relationship, if somebody is suffering in health, maybe, in any aspect, the root cause is completely deep within. And for that, this joypreneurship or, this hypnotherapy, these are the things that I'm actually doing.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That was very inspiring and wonderful to listen about. Now I have another question for Arunima, ma'am. So, ma'am, what role do you see mental wellness be playing in fostering entrepreneurial success, and especially for women entrepreneurs?
Yes. So mental health, as I have already mentioned, right? So mental health, physical health, both is important, as Padmaja rightly told. Like, we need to first understand ourselves, only then we can help others. So yes, see, if we have a good mental health, we are able to focus and we have less of distraction. For women, although the world has changed, but still we need to balance a lot, right? So we are like born mothers. Even if our husband or better half is taking the responsibility, even if we have a support system at home, but still when we are in office, we it is an automated tendency to think about our kids, to think about the household stuff. So here it plays a very major role, in focusing and in not being getting distracted. Because when you are into all these therapies, meditation, or you are consciously choosing the spirituality as your life pattern, you have that thing in you to where to focus and where to not. Because when you are at home, you should focus at home and you should not bring anything office problem into it. That is a distraction then. Similarly, when you are at office, if you are thinking something about home issues, it is a distraction at work, and anyway it will not help you, right? Because when you are at office, even if you are thinking about your home, you can't be there. So somewhere we need to have a healthy boundary and the understanding that only thinking, worrying will not help us. So this will help a lot if we have this this therapies, and you are into it, you are consciously choosing, and the right strategy. That is very important. How to make a perfect routine for yourself. Then you are very much organized, and where to put your focus and where to not get distracted. So this is the main thing I would say.
Arunima, ma'am, I have a small doubt. Earlier, you mentioned about social media addiction and this
Yes.
generation.
Correct.
So, ma'am, do you have any strategies or recommendations to maintain this healthy digital balance? We lost Arunima, ma'am.
Can you see me?
I think it is some network issue there.
Okay. Now fine.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So in this digital era, social media is something that is, both we can take it in a good way or we can take it in a negative way. So the strategy that I always tell and I always maintain before going to
Lohita, if it's okay, I have to step out. I have another meeting.
Yeah, sure, ma'am. The time's up. Actually, this would be the last question. We can wrap up the session then. Thank you so much for joining us, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
It was a pleasure having you, and it was great knowing about you, ma'am.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.